Jordan Massey. They call me Ritehand Robot is my street name. I'm an artist. I guess you could say pop art or street art or graffiti art. I grew up in Chicago until I was about 10, and then my stepdad transferred with the railroad. The boxcars came to where he worked to be repainted, so basically I got to see them before they went away, like the last chance to see them, the fleeting images of graffiti art on trains. So I kind of grew up around that. I guess I just kind of moved into the whole pop art thing kind of as a resurgence, getting back to DeSoto after college and seeing the trains again and realizing that's what I grew up around. Simpsons is a big part of my life. I mean, growing up, my brothers and sisters used to gather around the end of my parents' bed and we watched The Simpsons, but I try and bring all that together. You know, you kind of have to go back a little bit even further to 50s and 60s kind of stuff, where the people that aren't into The Simpsons are more into like the Marilyn Monroe or the Audrey Hepburn or, you know, Edgar Allan Poe even. Everyone has that personal connection to that. So what I'm really looking for more than anything else is a personal connection. Something that somebody could say, that makes me smile, or that brings back memories for me. It's just like I'm making it for myself to remember those times. I want them to want it for those times. I did some Dr. Seuss kind of spoofs and some comedian spoofs, and I put them in sticker format, and everyone was buying them, everyone loved them. And it's also another way to get your art out there super cheap. You know, somebody to buy something for $5 or $2 from you, as opposed to just not being able to have, you know, 15 or 20 bucks for a record, or, you know, $200 for a painting. It's kind of that format with like the streets. Like, you know, you go up and you put your stuff up in the street, you're not getting paid to do that. You know, no one's hiring you to put your name up on a wall or anything like that. You might be paying money to one of these sticker places to print your stickers for you. You know, you might be doing all that just to get your name out there and have some kind of street credit. It's cool to go to an event and be able to hand some piece of your art out, and I'll just pull rolls of vinyl out of industrial trash, and I'll figure out a way to print on it. I've figured out how to print on that vinyl that's unprintable, that you would otherwise need to screen print or do some kind of expensive industrial work on it. My big thing is I want to do the large murals. And I did one for Union Pacific Railroad, and you know, my dad is somebody there at the railroad, so that was an easier job to get. The biggest one that wasn't like a friend or a family member was One More Tamale, doing that giant sugar skull with all the different vegetables on the skull. That was my hardest undertaking. I totally underbid it. I was like, oh, I'll do your whole truck for $250. I went out and bought the paint. It was almost 200 bucks. Well, I mean, St. Louis is a tough city to be an artist in. I've had a lot of pushback, I want to say, being considered to be an artist in St. Louis. I think the deal with St. Louis is they want you to have put in a lot of time, and they want to see the time you're putting in. And the artist community is really who makes or breaks you as an artist in St. Louis. You literally have to know and be friends with the people that are getting the jobs, because they're the ones that are going to either pass on the job that's out of their wheelhouse to you, or recommend you for your style, or just to even be mentioned in a group of other artists. You have to really kind of make your way into the scene with the people that are already there. But breaking into it was the hardest part for me. I had to learn how to be more social, which I'm not. Either you love me or you hate me is kind of the way it goes with me. I don't have anybody that's really in between. I actually had a gallery tell me recently that my art lends itself more to the pop shop kind of aspect, which was, I felt like, kind of putting me down a little bit. Like I couldn't do fine art if I wanted to. It's not like in my wheelhouse. And then I resent a bunch of fine art stuff to them. And they were like, oh, well, I guess you can. And then I was like, yeah, well, I don't want to be here. There's nothing better than figuring it out on your own. And not having to sit down and watch like a million YouTube videos like a lot of guys do. Like, oh, I want to learn how to do this. I'm going to watch like 20 people on 1,000 YouTube videos and just spend hours watching people do it. And that's one thing I don't do. I don't get on YouTube and try and learn it from somebody else. I figure it out.